Welcome to BCP Live. Happy Tuesday evening to you. It's a Tuesday night. It is dark now, and I'm just enjoying this day. I'm excited to get to be back with you here on BCP Live. We're live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Whether or not you're watching this broadcast live, that's okay. If you're watching the replay on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever you're watching it, thank you for watching, and I appreciate you being here. It's always a privilege to get to visit with everyone in Bryan County and beyond. I'm Joey McWilliams. I have West Huggins with me tonight. And before I get into our time with him, which I thoroughly enjoy,
Thank you.
Listen, I'm bringing big names into the broadcast now. So that's where we are. I just want to let you know, stick around to the end because I want to tell you about something I've learned about in Colbert. And I've learned about this in recent weeks. So South Bryan County, I learned about this probably 2 or 3 months ago, but just within the last 3 weeks have said, you know what? I need to find out a little bit more on my own. So stick around, find out what I learned about in Colbert, and also something cool happening at Pro Image here in town. So I wanted to make you aware of that. That is coming up a little bit later. Shout out to Penny. It's good to see your name coming up there again, Penny. It's been a while since we've been on the air. Now, here we are. You're all here. I'm here. West Huggins is here. Not really in the building right now, but figuratively in the building tonight. West, man, it's good to see you again.
Man, it's great to see you. And I always know that when I get to see you, that means that we're getting close to some action in Oklahoma. So that's always good.
Definitely the case. Hi, Brina. Thank you for watching tonight. Future guest of BCP Live. And also, David, thank you for stopping in tonight. I appreciate that. Now, West is a rodeo announcer. And we'll talk about this a little bit as our time goes on. Stick around for a while. I want to give West an opportunity to just talk and visit. But the Durant Pro Rodeo is coming up. It's this week. Now, this week is a big week. We're going to have lots of live broadcasts this week, not just here from Studio B at Emerald Quest World Headquarters, but also around Bryan County. That having been said, one of the places we're going to be is at the Durant Pro Rodeo. It's June 3rd and 4th. And you know what, West? We can say it now. It's Friday and Saturday. We are at this point now where we can say it is this Friday and Saturday. And tell us what's going to be happening.
Well, first off, Durant is known now nationally. You know, for a lot of years, Durant had a direction that they wanted to be one of the biggest rodeos, and they are on the steps of becoming one of the biggest rodeos. And Durant is now, or the Durant Riding Club is now an award-winning, not only amateur rodeo, but now an award-winning PRCA rodeo.
That's fantastic.
And, yeah, their very first year, the contestants voted that Durant was the Prairie Circuit Medium Rodeo of the Year. And I thought that was phenomenal. The very first year, right out of the box. As you know, last year was our first year, and they came back this year with an even bigger fan base as far as watching them on social media, but even contestant-wise, it's huge this year. And Durant, you know, it doesn't for the fans. It starts, you know, Friday and Saturday. For the Durant Riding Club, this thing has been going on 365 days. So I tip my hats to all of those folks because they are the ones been working hard.
Listen, I don't know if Susan Eastland is watching, but she watches regularly. She's a faithful viewer of BCP Live. She should be watching now because she's been expecting you to come on. And she seriously, I hear her talk about rodeo 365. I mean, there's no doubt. You're not exaggerating that. And our Durant Riding Club, those folks do a fantastic job. And to be an award-winning pro rodeo now,
right.
What a big deal for Bryan County. What a big deal for Southeastern Oklahoma and Durant specifically. But there's so many people involved, so that's just really neat.
Right.
Ebony, thank you for stopping by tonight. Tammy, I hope I said that name right because the last name looks familiar over there. I have somebody named Huggins watching tonight.
Oh, no.
So
I told them don't be saying that you're related to me until after the rodeo.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep that in mind. We're visiting tonight and talking about the pro rodeo here in Durant. And you know what, Wes? This is another cool thing. You mentioned it. It was an amateur rodeo for a while, pro rodeo circuit now. But Durant's had a rodeo for 75 plus years. I mean, this isn't something that's fly by night.
No, it isn't. And you know, a lot of things that make you a PRCA rodeo. First off, is your sanctioning. And that's what puts you into the next bracket. When you talk about moving into the PRCA, you're bringing cowboys that do this for a living. before, when they were part of the other association, the UPRA, they were still handling themselves just like a professional rodeo. The committee themselves worked hard day in, day out, no matter what. So the pride of having a rodeo here in Durant has always been there. The only difference is they stepped up and said, you know what, we want to bring in the cowboys that are truly going for a chance at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. And when they did that, it's opened up all kinds of new doors. And even like we said before, nationally, people in Las Vegas were talking about Durant. And that's a good sign. And when I say Las Vegas, you know, at the Super Bowl rodeo, at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. And the committee, to me, is they've really just kind of put it in, this is the way we're going to go. It's a ticket seller, because you're with the UPRA, you were able to have 1 or 2 NFR qualifiers, but now you're having world champions in June. And anytime that you have a world champion or an NFR qualifier come through Durant, Oklahoma, and during this time, you know that you've got a good rodeo. And the reason I say that is because we all know in the PRCA world that in the fall and in the winter, your big rodeos are in the south because it's cooler. In the summer, everybody goes north. The big rodeos are up north. And so anytime you get a chance to see them down here, you're rocking and rolling. You know that you've got
That's
something
cool.
going. And so when we were looking through the day sheets, you know, in the performances alone, I know, you know, they've got a lot of slack, which is extra contestants. They have so many contestants they can't fit into the show. But just looking through the performances alone, there's at least 8 to 10 NFR qualifiers every night, 2 to 3 world champions every single night. And not only that, the livestock is a whole different ball game now, because United Pro Rodeo has the Wrangler NFR stock, like people like Happy Jays and some of those Fireballs and all those horses and those bulls that also are competing for that big name title. And that's the thing that I really emphasize to people around Durant, is that when you're coming in, you're not just watching, oh, it's the Durant Rodeo. Now it is truly the Durant PRCA Pro Rodeo. So
that is so cool. And you talk about that too, about, you know, these people that are coming through that are champions. And I think it's inspiring for the people who are here. And Southeastern Oklahoma State University has a fantastic rodeo program too. Coach Christy Broderick has done a great job with them. They'll be represented in Wyoming.
Yes.
I know at least one, so I don't know the whole gamut just yet. I need to find that out before I start talking too much about it. But I know that Southeastern will be represented up in Wyoming here in the summer, which we're talking about the National College Finals Rodeo as well. That's a big deal, and we have that right here in Southeastern Oklahoma. So that is so cool. We're going to visit with Wes Huggins tonight here on BCP Live. You're just tuning in. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Comment, let us know from where you are watching tonight, if you will. Love to hear that as we're talking. Wes is an 8-time UPRA Announcer of the Year. Well, I wasn't kidding when I say I bring in big names here. So we have a talented broadcaster here. I think that's pretty cool. Talk about what does that mean to get that award?
Well, what it meant to me, the very first year I was shocked, because when I first got it, I was very surprised, because it's an award that's voted on by the Cowboys once again. And an announcer, in my opinion, and probably a lot of people will disagree, they're rodeo announcers, but my job is mainly for the fans. Contestants don't need me in technically. But I will have some contestants that have told me, and it's not to brag, but I've had some tell me, man, when you announce me, I get all pumped up. I'm ready to go, and I feel like I'm really competing.
Yeah. And
so I'd heard that for several years, but when I actually got the award, it meant the world to me, because it meant that all the years of, you know, doing your homework and trying to work with production and all that the contestants noticed. And because you got to think the contestants are in there at the max, maybe 20 seconds in the arena. The rest of the time they're out. And so it meant the world to me. And to me, that buckle that says Announcer of the Year doesn't just go to me, it goes to my whole family. You know, I mean, that's what we all do. And that's it means something to all of us. But when to get it once is pretty neat. When you get it 8 times, it's very humbling, and it makes you feel really good. So
I can imagine. That is an amazing thing. Okay, now listen. I want to stop there because I want to follow a path that you're talking about. I want to get to it really quickly. Brenda's watching from Sherman tonight, and David's watching from Durant, right here in Durant, home of Emerald Quest World Headquarters. Lisa says you are one of the best, Lisa McAdoo, and she knows. I know her, and she would know what she's talking about. And talk about also some. I'll drop a name here really quickly. Dr. Newsom, the Southeastern Oklahoma State University president, listening tonight, and also he's brought me up to speed. See, I started talking about Southeastern Rodeo, and I didn't know what I was talking about. Dr. Newsom is right there for me. Southeastern, here, let's go ahead and put that up so everybody can see this. Southeastern has won the Men's Central Region Championship. We'll have 6 men and 2 women competing for individual and a team championship in Casper in June. So how about that? Absolutely fantastic. We are well represented in Durant, West.
You are. And also a shout out to Southeastern, because it's awarding to me when you have administrators and people that aren't just the rodeo coach that knows what's going on with the rodeo team. And we do plenty of rodeos in the Southwest region of Texas. And it's amazing to watch when you have, I call it the higher ups that come out and support the rodeo, because to me, that's awesome. Everybody supports the other sports, but when you look at rodeo, like you guys, y'all are in Rodeo Central in Durant, Oklahoma. I mean, it really is. There's a whole, the Bible Belt. Y'all are part of the rodeo belt, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to be in the Bible Belt too. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Jeff Edlin says, my buddies, West and Joey. Jeff, good to hear from you tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I need to make sure that your mom's watching. So if she's not, tell her she's got to be watching here. We're talking with West Huggins right now here on BCP Live. Now, I want to go back to the point that I was wanting to make. You were talking about family, and this is a family affair for you. So your family is a big part of what you do, again, throughout the year.
Oh, it absolutely is. We travel together probably 99% of the rodeos together. A lot of people know us. We've got twin boys. Actually, my boys get me more rodeos than I do. A lot of people will ask, are you the guy with the twin boys? Yes. A little backstory, and I know this is, some people probably could care less about it, but when the boys were little, they were about one or two, 3, somewhere in there. We used to carry a swimming pool around everywhere with us because it'd get so hot. And so my wife would fill up the little kiddie pool out by the rodeo trailer. And everybody knew us as the guy that has the 2 kids in the swimming pool. And I'll never forget, a guy called me one time, and it was pretty late at night. And he goes, hi, this is so-and-so from a rodeo committee, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, yeah, how's it going? He goes, are you the guy that's got the twin boys with the swimming pool? And I said, yes, sir. And you could hear him in the background, honey, this is the right guy. And I thought, okay, I'm not about my announcing, nothing like that. Are you the guy with the pool? But yeah, family is very, very important. And my wife is a rodeo secretary. And it's just something that, what other job do you get to take your family with you 24/7? That is so cool to me. That, and not only that, my family is important, but every contestant, when they come into an arena, there's kids coming out of the trailer, out of the truck, and it's a family affair. And I mean, I know every industry and every sport has their families, but in rodeo, you can actually see the generations that come through. And that to me is so phenomenal, because our Western industry is slowly fading. And so anytime that we can see the young kids continue to go on, man, it's amazing. It's amazing to me.
That is cool. So, well, Lisa says she's still praying for your family too, and that God is good. So I know you've had a lot going on, and your family has dealt with a lot this past year, but my family is as well. And I appreciate that. I broadcast sports. By the way, Dr. Newsom, if you're still watching, this is the drinking game. Because I like to talk about broadcasting sports. Wes, it's challenging to do that, to take your family on these things. And I have over the years tried to take one at a time with me, which that's been kind of fun, because I mean, it's been daddy time, and I have 5 kids. And with that in mind, individual time with dad doesn't happen all the time. And so when you take some, a kid to Kansas or Arkansas or somewhere else in Oklahoma, or, wherever the case may be, you could spend all that time with them on the road. And yeah, some of it's driving, but it's still time with Dad. And
it is.
I'm looking to the time, not looking forward to as trying to wish anything past, but we're getting to a point where we can start to take more people with us, school
Right.
and as it is, and it be more of a family thing. So I appreciate you making that happen. That's really pretty cool. I talk about, you're announcing. You do so much more than just that. You also lend your voice to commercials and different things, don't you?
Good voice. I do voiceover work for rodeos and commercials and videos. One of my sons, Trevor, does some videography when he can, and he'll tell some people, hey, if you want a video and a commercial, I know a guy that will do a voiceover. And guess who it is? And but the voice thing came out when I was a kid. It's kind of embarrassing, but when I was a kid, I actually had a speech impediment and I couldn't talk. I was tongue-tied. And it was, I thought when I was a kid that people loved to hear me talk because I was so good. What I didn't realize until after watching the whole home movies, that I couldn't pronounce my R's. I just couldn't talk. And they were making fun of me is what it was in a roundabout way. But once I got my tongue clipped and I went through several speech therapists, I started talking well. Now, when I get tired, it comes out. That's a little secret for all you folks on the BCP, okay? So if you hear it kind of slurring, it's because sometimes it comes out. But my voice has always been a lot deeper and a lot little different. And when I was, I think I was about 16 or 17 years old, just for fun, that's when I wanted to announce rodeos. And it was just for fun. And I just did it as a joke. And everybody said it was amazing. You should keep doing that. And it's always been fun. And two, I also have just a little bit more of a rodeo voice when I'm up there. I mean, one guy says, do you talk like that all the time? And I say, well, no, because how annoying would that be when you go through the drive-through and, hey, I'd like to have a number one, if that's okay. I mean, that would be annoying.
Oh, but West, let me tell you something. This is a true story. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't interrupt too much. This is a true story. I actually got a radio job. I am not making this up. But my wife and a daughter and my daughter's friend and her mother was in the car, and we were on a dance trip because we competed in dance. We were on a trip somewhere in Texas, went through the drive-through, and I used to do something like that, just teasing. And so I did my radio guy. And I'm not going to do it right now, but he's just over the top like this, and he's talking all that kind of. So I was doing radio guy, and I ordered at McDonald's at radio guy, and I thought it was just being funny and cutting up. Well, turns out that her friend's mother worked at a radio station. She went back home, talked to the station owner, and she said, "I've got you a job if you want it."
Oh wow. That's awesome.
That really did happen. But yeah, you're right. And I think that my wife would be annoyed though if I did it all the time.
Well,
you can't do it all the time. You can't keep that up all the time. No,
you cannot. You cannot. I know that my family growing up, I'm sure my mom's listening, my dad's listening. I'm sure that it got annoying when I kind of found my voice because I just love to use it. And it's gotten a little bit deeper and a little bit stronger as time's gone on, but to me, it's old school rodeo, and I know that sounds weird, but when I was a kid, Phil Gardenhire was part of the Odessa Pro Rodeo where I grew up, the Sandhills Stock Show and Rodeo. He had the coolest voice I'd ever heard live, and of course there was Bob Tallman, Hadley Barrett, even Boyd Paulhanus was in college. And when I grew up a little time in Uvalde, Boyd Paulhanus was going to college in Uvalde. And so they hired him to announce. And I was just so overwhelmed that, this guy with this big booming voice is telling people, hey, what do you think? Let me hear you make some noise. And people would cheer. And I thought, that is so cool.
Yeah.
How does he do that? And so it's just always come up that I've always done it. I've been in high school. I would do the voice for the announcements in the morning. And, it was a way to get out of English, but,
Hey, whatever works. Whatever works. That's all right.
So
we are here with Wes Huggins right now. If you're just tuning in on BCP Live on a Tuesday night, glad to be back on a Tuesday night with you all. Don't forget, please don't forget, we're going to be broadcasting live throughout Bryan County all week long. We're going to be at a lot of different places, including the Pro Rodeo. At least one night we will be broadcasting there, and I hope to get to see Wes there at some point if he's not too big for me.
No,
I just all right, that's fine. No, I know.
I
appreciate that. But yeah, I hope to get to see you there. We'll be broadcasting from a lot of places, but it's nice to be back here live on a Tuesday night. Now, let's see. I wanted to ask you one other thing too before I let you go. I know you're coming into town this week, tomorrow, actually.
Yep.
And so we'll get a chance to visit. I know you have a lot going on. When you do this stuff, it's and I agree with you. You can't keep the energy level that high all the time. Not only would it be annoying to talk like this, all the time,
right.
but you run out of things to say, and that it really does take a little bit out of you to keep that going at that intensity. With that in mind, though, you're talking to an audience night in and night out, and a lot of times you just get to tell stories.
I do. My part of the show is to tell the story on every contestant. And we in the rodeo industry also talk about how we're kind of a band. And to help me out through that rodeo is also, we've got a new face this year, Ronald Burton, who is out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. He'll be our barrel man. Funny, and got great acts and all that. But Ronald and I can work together throughout that. He can kind of tell when Wes needs a little break, or Ronald is just one of those that loves to have fun throughout the 2 hours. The other thing that we have is new PRCA sound man, Jesse Knudsen, that comes to us, and he keeps the tunes going. And you'll notice that when that rodeo, when the atmosphere changes, the music changes. When somebody nods their head, the music changes. And all these little things are all kind of a pre-planned type mechanism to make that energy continue on. That rodeo is kind of like a wave too. We have to go up and down, because it's just like a movie. Like you said, we're going to be telling a story throughout the whole thing. And my job really is to try to, I don't want to bore you with things about a contestant, but I want people to know how important some of these contestants are. We've talked about this just the other day with a guy, and I said, the hard part with an announcer is you have so much info on a guy that you're trying to get it all in 20 seconds, and you can't sometimes. So what you're really trying to do is emphasize to the crowd, he's $1 million cowboy. He went to the national finals. He's from here, and the horse that he's riding is, national finals horse, blah, blah, blah. And that's the hardest part, because if you knew what was in my brain during the thing, we would just be completely overwhelmed, So it's organized chaos for 2 hours during a Durant rodeo. And it's the best thing.
And it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be Friday and Saturday. So I invite everyone to come out. Tickets are $10, I believe. That's right. And
yes,
so
you can get them discounted too.
Okay.
If you go in person to Copper Kettle, the Durant Chamber of Commerce, or Bochita Tag Office, you can actually get them for $8 in advance, if I'm not mistaken, or the day of the show, or online at Durant Pro Rodeo or DurantRodeo.com. They're $10 online or in person at the gate.
All right.
Kids that are about, I think kids 13 and under get in free. And if they don't, just say Wes said.
No. I am so doing that.
No,
I have twins too, and they're 15, but I'm just going to say Wes
I think
said.
It's 12 and under, I believe, get in free. So
I did always enjoy that though with the kids when they were young. They're young. Whatever discount you can give us. And by the way, when you bring 7 people into a restaurant, anytime there's a discount involved, Absolutely. I would have been taking AARP discounts, at 37 if I could have. So that's anyhow, Wes, thank you so much. It's a privilege to get to visit with you. And I'm not overstating that. It really is that you took some time out of your night to visit with me. And I know there's a lot going on. People are going to enjoy having you as a part of the rodeo. And I know that Durant and Bryan County and all the folks who come in on Friday and Saturday are going to just enjoy themselves overall too. So there's some slack you mentioned too. There's some slack on Friday and Saturday. Any on
Friday
Thursday?
And Saturday. If you are a true rodeo fan, you can come out there, bring you an umbrella just because of the sun, because it might be a little warm.
Yeah.
And what we want you to do is just sit back and enjoy great timed event. I believe they start at 9 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and it is all kinds of names. They just roll right through them. It's going to be great. So.
All right. Well, we look forward to that too. So Jeff, Aaron Edlin also giving a shout out, said he can't wait for that. And Jeff said it is 12 and under. So I'm not. Well, Jeff, I'm just telling you, I may completely throw West under the bus at that point in time, bring the Twins, but I don't know.
Just saying.
I'm just saying. Okay, really quickly, while we're still here, and I'll let Wes go after that. This is the link. It is in the comment section right now, and so if you're watching on Facebook, or even if you're watching this later, I'm going to keep this in the comment section, and I will find a way to put this in the comments on YouTube. Also, if you're watching YouTube, but this is the link to the Southeastern story for Southeastern going to the CNFR.
Awesome.
There you go. So that'll be there as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Newsom, for sending that. I appreciate that. Wes, God bless you, man.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for taking time with us on a Tuesday night.
Well, thank y'all for having us. We hope that everybody gets out there. Everybody's in a good mood. And if you're not, you're going to slap the person next to you and wake them up. That's what I say all the time. So,
all right. I'll be sitting next to someone other than my wife at that point. So we'll go. West, I'm going to let you go tonight, man. I will see you this week. I look forward to shaking your hand in person.
All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
That was West Huggins. And now I'm not kidding. We're talking about bringing big names in here, and he is a quality broadcaster. So I appreciate that. And I have heard him do these rodeos. I have listened to him. I've been at the rodeo when he's been here in town, and he does a really good job. And there are people that it's just fun. It's fun to listen to. I don't know how many folks that you've watched on TV. There are, again, I broadcast sports. Here we go. There are some broadcasters that I will listen to more than others. There's some, honestly, that I may just turn the sound down and just watch the game. Just can't do it. Or might watch a game, and if I know that it's being broadcast, on the radio or something, turn up the radio, turn down the volume on the TV, and watch it that way. I've done that kind of stuff before. There's some folks, though, that it is worth it to get to listen to them do their craft. And West is one of those guys that it is worth it to get to listen to him do his craft. Plus the fact that it's just a fantastic rodeo. So there is that. All right. That is what is going on. Now, all week long, just be watching on Facebook for sure. Now, what we'll do is we'll have it on Facebook first. We will also put things on the YouTube channel, Bryan County Patriot Facebook page, Bryan County Patriot YouTube channel. Look for that. We're going to be in a lot of places, including one of these places we're going to be is Pro Image. We're going to stop by there. Daryl and his entire family, they're celebrating the anniversary of the store. And they have a lot of things going on. That's going to be on Saturday. Pro Image right here in Durant. If you like sports collectibles, like the jerseys or like things like this. Okay. I dig this. Now I know I'm repping OSU in the Women's College World Series in softball. Yeah, I know OU is too, but anyway, they're both there. Also from Oklahoma. I know I'm flying all over the place today. Just stay with me. Rogers State out of Claremore, Oklahoma won the Division II College World Series in softball today. Congratulations to the Hillcats. Oklahoma City University is playing for a spot, they're in the finals now, and USAO is playing for a spot right now, I believe, to take on Oklahoma City in the championship game of the NAIA softball championship. And on top of that, just up the road from us here, just into Johnson County, Murray State, their softball team, the National Junior College runners-up. Oklahoma's a softball state. It is just a softball state. So there you go. I thoroughly enjoy broadcasting softball too. All right. Now, you like things like this, go to Pro Image. You can get ball caps. You can get, I love the decorative helmets, the pennants that I have behind me every now and again. You can get shirts, jerseys, so many more things. Saturday is going to be an anniversary celebration. So you need to go on Saturday. Going to be giving out free ballpark hot dogs, different things like that. It's going to be fun. But if you haven't ever been there, you need to go. You need to go. You owe it to yourself, because that we have a place like this in Durant is just absolutely fantastic. All right. We've been talking about Pro Rodeo. That's Thursday and Friday. Starting this week, that's Friday and Saturday. Pro Rodeo is Friday and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is Magnolia Festival. We've had guests on here. We will be broadcasting live from the Magnolia Festival as well. So keep that in mind. We're going to be out there. It'll be a lot of fun. You need to go. If you haven't thought about it yet, think about it now. Make plans to go to Magnolia Festival 2022. Lots of cool vendors, lots of stuff at the carnival, lots of things to do. You do not want to miss this. You just don't want to miss it. All right. Now, I said at the beginning of the show, like 30 minutes ago, that I found something in Colbert that I had heard about at the start of the year, and I hadn't yet gone to check it out. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went to check it out, and I was not disappointed. So if you're from Colbert, or if you know about this already, you can say, Joey, we knew about this already. You know, what's the deal? Hidden Aces Barbecue. Okay. Hidden Aces Barbecue. Now, it's what we had for lunch today. It is good. It is absolutely fantastic good. And I had heard now this was the big thing I was hearing too. Barbecue gravy. I've never heard of barbecue gravy before. Okay. But went down, got to visit with Darren, got to talk to Tim for a while. Great place. I mean, fantastic place. They're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. But I didn't know what barbecue gravy was. So the next time I went in, I got whatever it was we got. It was I think sliced pork. Got the barbecue gravy. Took that home to Mrs. Patriot, and it's a hit. It's an absolute hit. So if you have not gone down to Colbert yet, check out Hidden Aces. And it is as you're coming into town. It's on the oh Lord, I'm forgetting the name of the street just as you're coming. Okay, come off 75, just drive straight into town. Okay, there you go. And it'll be on the south side of that road, and you can't miss it. There you go. That's like the death knell of directions, isn't it? When someone says you can't miss it, then, you know, obviously you're going to immediately, you know, drive into another city or something. So don't miss out on this. Hidden Aces Barbecue. It is that good. It is that good. Try the barbecue gravy too. It's that good. All right. Dr. Newsom, yes, it's a great event for Durant. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Jeff says we all throw West under the bus. He can handle it. Well, okay, that's fine. I'll keep that in mind. If I can get the Twins in for a discount, we're probably going to find a way to do that. Jason Manus of the Shamrock Emojis. If you have not seen the Shamrock Emojis, you need to see. There you go. I talk about the Shamrock Emojis every now and again. By the way, he's the president at Shamrock Bank here in Durant. Yeah, you got to see the Shamrock Emojis. You have to see that. That is cool. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wind down for tonight. I wanted to tell you about Hidden Aces. I want to tell you about Pro Image. Definitely wanted to have West on the broadcast. Now, I don't know if Brina's still watching or not. Brina will be with me on the show. We have stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped and started. We have not been able to connect to get her on the show. She will be on the show. She has big things coming up in June, really big things for the area, and we need to talk about those. So I'm not going to say a definite date or time, and if we have to do a show on a separate night other than Tuesday to get her on the show, we will do that, okay? So, Brina, if you're still watching, we will have you on the show very, very soon, even if it's an extra show that week, whatever it takes. Jimmy, been in Facebook jail. I know lots of people who have been in Facebook jail. So anyway, glad you've been watching. Thank you very much. And we will pray for your lungs. We want you to be all the way well. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by tonight. God bless you. Thank you so much. Don't forget Magnolia Festival this week. Don't forget Pro Rodeo this week. Don't forget you want to go see West Huggins, but you want to see all the things at the Pro Rodeo. Lots going on in Durant and in Bryan County as a whole. So keep that in mind. And Southeastern is sending men's team and women's individuals to the CNFR in Casper, Wyoming this month. So we will tell you more about that as well. We will keep up to speed. I've been gone. So I'm sorry. I've been broadcasting a lot of baseball and softball lately, and so I was not up to speed on my Southeastern rodeo. So please forgive me. Christy, Broderick, please forgive me, and anyone else out there. I'm sorry. I'll get back up to speed on my Durant rodeo. That's a promise. Okay. 1, you need to walk with wisdom. Get wisdom. Be wise in what you're doing. See, it's been a while since I've closed down the show. Be wise. If you don't feel like you have enough wisdom, God said, ask, and I'll give you wisdom. Okay? He's not afraid to give people wisdom. Absolutely not afraid. He said, if you ask, he'll give it to you generously. Number 2, walk in love. Not always the easiest thing to do. Forgiving is not always the easiest thing to do. Okay? It's not. But it's worth it. Number 2, walk in love. And number 3, very important, do not walk in fear. And there are lots of reasons that are out there. The national media always gives us reasons to be afraid. There are things that we hear about the world around us that give us reasons to be afraid. Things I'm not happy about, and heard things that are happening in Canada this week. I'm not happy about it at all, but I'm not going to walk in fear. So be wise, walk in love. Walk in love. Do not walk in fear. Lisa, I agree with you. I'm going to put that one up there for everyone to see. Lisa says, going to the rodeo, it's the most patriotic thing you can go to. And it is. If you enjoy patriotic events, the Bryan County Patriot is well named, so you should, do that too. But if you enjoy patriotic events, the rodeo is like the coolest thing. It is like one of the coolest things and very patriotic. Just so fantastic. You ought to go to that. So anyway, walk in love, be wise, walk in love, and do not walk in fear. I am going to go ahead and get off the air now. You're going to see me a lot this week, so please tune in for all the things we have going on. And if you would, we have a lot of great sponsors. We're starting tomorrow on Facebook with our summer shout-outs for our sponsors. And I mean it when I say thank you. We get to do the things we do because of the sponsors, the folks who advertise in the Bryan County Patriot. So please, stop by the folks who advertise and sponsor the Bryan County Patriot. These are good folks. These are good people. These are good local people. They're good families. So many, and the businesses range from small to medium and large. We have all sizes, but they're good people in every one of these businesses. So I encourage you, stop by those businesses. Check out the advertisements on the right-hand side of the screen or below some of the stories, whatever the case may be. Check them out. And go by and visit these advertisers and sponsors. And you know what? Tell them I said hi. Tell them I sent you. That would be cool too. I would appreciate that greatly. All right. Thanks again to everybody. We will be on the air again tomorrow at some point in time. Don't know where exactly yet, but I promise we will be there. So check that out. Have a great, great night. Thanks again to West Huggins and for all of you for watching. God bless you.